Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our online reporting session on the fascinating topic of digital self. In this unit, we will be discussing the nature and concept of digital self and its factors to oneself. In this modern and most challenging level of technology can lead changes in society lies the internet or called digital era. The millennial generation is reliant on the technology that exists in our environment. What is digital self? It is the persona you use when you are online. So when we say persona, it means the image or the personality that you present in public. Basically, these are the characteristics and personality that you show on online world. Your behavior, your thoughts, your feelings, and so on. For example, the things that you post on Facebook. What else? The people you follow on Instagram. And of course, the status you share on Twitter and other things that you do on social media platforms. All of these say something about your personality. So, digital self is also like a mask that we put on to engage the technological world. So, it's like a mask where we hide our true personality on who we really are. The concept of the digital self is also the self-promising principle of relying on modern technology. The fundamental reason for the digital self principle is that once you go online as your real identity, by using your own name or appearance, you have an online presence that can be traced back to you in the real world. In managing your digital self, it is possible to use this social media in moderation in order to respect and adhere to the guidelines of such social media for a user-friendly and environmentally friendly.
So, a digital identity is like your online fingerprint. It's the information and data that uniquely represents you on the internet, including your username, email address, and personal details. It's what websites and online services use to recognize and verify who you are in the digital world. Think of your digital identity as your name and picture on the class attendance sheet. It's how your teacher knows who you are. When you use the internet, websites, and apps need to know who's interacting with them. Just like a teacher needs to know who's in class, your digital identity is like your online name and face that websites use to recognize you when you log in or use in their services. It's how they make sure you are really you and not someone else. So sa online world, ito yung pagkakakilanlan nating mga individual.
Now let's talk about the characteristics of digital identity. Digital identity is composed of data characteristics or attributes such as username and password, online search activities such as electronic transactions, date of birth, medical history, and purchase history. Now let's break down each of these data characteristics or attributes in connection to digital identity. First, username and password. Usernames and passwords are the basic building blocks of digital identity, serving as the first layer of authentication to establish one's online presence securely. Ito ang ginagamit mo para makapasok sa mga online account mo tulad ng social media or email account. Ito ay importante para maproteksyonan ang iyong digital na pagkatao sa online world. Usernames and passwords verify that the person accessing a service or platform is who they claim to be. Next is online search activities such as electronic transactions. Online search activities collect search history to understand user preferences and interests. Through online search activities, nire-relate nito yung mga interest mo at kung ano yung mga gusto mong lumabas sa feed mo. Online search activities is also used to provide more relevant search results, advertisements, and content recommendations. When it comes to date of birth, it is an important component of a person's digital identity because it verifies their identity and gives them access to age-restricted content or services. Kailangan ito dahil may mga sensitive content sa digital world na dapat inaangkop base sa edad natin. Halimbawa, minor ka pa lang at gusto mong manood ng mga palabas na may age restriction or mga 18 years old pataas. Pwedeng hihingiin sa'yo yung information about sa date of birth mo para matiyak na tama lang ang iyong edad para sa content na gusto mong malaman. Medical history. A person's medical history is a critical component in digital identity within the healthcare ecosystem. Sinisiguro nito na ang mga healthcare professionals have access to accurate and up-to-date health information even in online world. In terms of emergencies, gaya ng mga aksidente o biglaang pagkasakit, kapag may medical history tayo na pwedeng ma-access digitally, it can provide critical information to healthcare providers, which can be life-saving by allowing medical professionals to make informed decisions quickly. Last is purchase history. Purchase history contributes to a person's digital identity by shaping their consumer profile. It allows businesses to offer personalized recommendations and targeted advertising based on past purchasing behavior. Ang purchase history ay nagbibigay daan para sa mga personalized na rekomendasyon ng mga produkto na nagbibigay satisfaction sa mga customer. The digital identity is linked to one or more digital identifiers, which are usually the email address, a URL, or the domain name along with the password chosen by the user. The combination of a digital identifier, such as an email address, and a user-chosen password, serves as a foundational form of digital identity verification. Kinukumpirma nito na ang taong nag-a-access sa isang account ay ang tunay na may-ari ng nauugnay na account na iyon. Ang pagbibigay daan sa mga user na pumili ng kanilang mga password at digital identifier empowers them with a level of control over their online presence. In addition to that, secure identification systems are evolving to combat cyber fraud through fingerprint or facial recognition. Dahil magkakaiba ang fingerprint at mukha ng bawat tao, biometric authentication techniques like this are safe at nagbibigay ito ng katiyakan na walang sino man ang pinapayagang gumamit ng device o account mo kung hindi ito match sa fingerprint or facial recognition na in-apply mo sa iyong device.
Ngayon po, narinig na natin ang characteristic ng digital identity. Now, let's move on to the case to take care of our identity. So, bakit nga ba natin kailangan alagaan or protektahan ng ating identity sa social media? Kasi sa panahon ngayon, marami na pong fake, scammer o di kaya hacker. So, kailangan dapat alam natin kung paano o ano ang mga dapat gawin sa pagprotekta ng ating identity sa social media. Today, image projected by an entity or an individual on the internet is almost more important than the real identity. So, sinasabi na sa ngayong panahon ay mas kailangan protektado at pinapahalagahan ang image ng individual sa internet kesa sa real identity. So, therefore, merong recommendations ng digital strategy para sundin na alagaan ng bawat isa ang reputasyon, especially sa mga gumagamit ng social media and lalong-lalo na sa mga sikat na tao like artist, TikToker, influencer, and vlogger. So, nakikita po natin sa screen, first, it is very important to observe the basic security and data protection measures on the internet. Mahalaga po na alam natin ang basic security and data protection measures sa internet kasi baka po may mga times na nahack na pala yung mga accounts natin. So, it is important po talaga. May dalawang components po ang data protection, which is the authentication and authorization. Mga essential components po ito, ensuring that only authorized individual can access your data. Second is limit the information offered on social media.
Dapat po maging maingat at matalino tayo when it comes to social media. Kasi social media is a public place na kahit ano ay pwede nating i-post. So, we need limitations. Para na rin maiwasan natin na ma-hack or di kaya mabudol. Third is, use netiquette rules when reviewing or participating in any type of debate on the web. Pag sinabi po nating netiquette rules, is serve as a means of online communication, easy and safe. Dapat, mag-isip muna tayo ng sasabihin natin kung ito ba ay tama o mali. Be ethical. And alamin natin na wala tayo sa real world. Like kung ano yung mga maling salitang sinasabi natin offline, wag nating sabihin or dalhin sa online. Later on po malalaman natin ang online etiquette rules. Fourth, monitor what is said about oneself in order to face and tackle reputation crisis. It is essential to monitor kung ano yung sinasabi ng ibang tao sa iyo, or I can say may nakita kang negative comments or nabasa. Kailangan you respond politely. Kailangan maging mabait ka pa rin sa kanila or wag na lang patulan ang mga haters or bashers. Next, do not use public networks or unprotected Wi-Fi networks. Yes po, huwag tayong gumamit ng unprotected Wi-Fi networks, lalong-lalo na sa public kasi magkakaroon o mapapasukan ng virus ang ating mga devices. Hacker is everywhere. Remember that. Kaya kailangan natin mag-ingat sa paggamit lalo na in public places. Lastly is always use strong passwords and change them regularly. Yes, isa rin po ito. You always use strong password because it helps protect personal and sensitive information from unauthorized access. And kung maaari ay palitan po natin yung mga password natin every 3 months. So, yun. Next is proceed naman po tayo sa digital technology. So, pag sinabi po nating digital technology, ay hindi na rin ito bago sa atin kasi araw-araw po natin itong nakikita. Araw-araw natin itong ginagamit. When we say digital technology, it is any electronic tool, system, device, or resource that generates, stores, or processes data. Such as a mobile phone, itong ginagamit natin ngayon sa pag-online class, pagre-reporting, or pag-screen share. Online games, media, or multimedia is considered as digital technology. So, yun po yung kahulugan ng digital technology, and I hope na may natutunan kayo on how to take care of our identity.
Netiquette. The word netiquette it contains the network etiquette rules, what should and should not be done in online communication. In easy words, it is an etiquette for the internet. In this modern world we live in, it is important to have proper manners and behavior online. When using the internet, it's like a set of unspoken rules that should be followed to avoid conflict and misunderstandings. Online etiquette. It is very important to understand some common rules for good online etiquette. 1. Be respectful. It is important to remember that your classmates and teachers are real people who are affected by the words you say and write. It is essential to keep in mind the feelings and opinions of others even if they differ from your own. Kasi as we use these online platforms, there are a variety of people na makaka-interact natin. And thus, we should be more careful sa lahat ng salitang bibitawan natin, especially when interacting with professional people like our teachers. Kapag nagme-message tayo sa kanila to ask something, it should always be concise and yet still being respectful. Halimbawa, there should always be the greetings before asking the question, and then after ka mag-ask, there should be a thank you. Like, it is a common sense na lang na maging respectful tayo sa pakikipag-usap sa kanila kasi hindi natin sila ka-level. Two, be aware of strong language, all caps, and exclamation points. Dito naman, madali kasing ma-misinterpret or ma-misunderstood lahat ng sinasabi natin, especially kapag written. Like, kapag all caps sasabihin nila, galit tayo. Kapag may exclamation points, para naninigaw tayo. Kapag hindi naman natin ka-close or friends yung kausap natin, we should be aware na baka ma-misunderstood nila yon. And thus, we should be careful sa pag-include ng mga yon or pag-gamit ng mga ganong type ng messages. 3. Be careful with humor and sarcasm. It doesn't mean na we should avoid yung pagjo-joke natin sa online classes or sa face-to-face classes natin kasi we all know na nakakatuwa rin na may commercial in between classes, diba? Pero this simply means na maging maingat tayo sa content ng jokes na sasabihin natin. Baka kasi seryosohin nila yon yung sasabihin mo when in fact sarcasm pala yon. 4. Check your grammar and spelling. As I said kanina, kapag yung kausap natin is professional or mas nakakataas sa atin, hindi natin ka-level, our writing style should be formal. It should reflect professional and proper writing style. Especially yung grammar and spelling, it should be correct. Kasi it only shows na nire-respeto mo yung kausap mong professional or hindi mo ka-level. 5. Cite your sources. Whenever na nag-share tayo ng idea na hindi naman galing sa atin, we should cite it properly. Hindi lang CTTO or credits to the rightful owner kasi hindi naman proper yon. It will verify the things that you said na hindi mo lang gawa-gawa yon para maiwasan na rin yung pag-spread ng fake information or fake news. 6. Don't post or share any inappropriate material or words. This simply means na mag-iingat tayo sa lahat ng pinag-share natin online. Or rather, kapag alam mo inappropriate yun, wag mo nang i-share. Kasi there is a thing called digital footprint that can be used against us in the future. Kapag professional na tayo and nakita nila yung mga pinag-share mong inappropriate sa internet. Everything you post kasi, kapag na-post mo na yon, even if sa dump account mo na onti lang yung followers, there are still people na makakakita nun. And who knows if makakalabas yun sa dump account mo na yun, diba? Let's try to be understanding of others when they struggle sa pakikipag-communicate nila sa atin online. Kasi ibang-iba yun compared sa pakikipag-usap natin sa iba ng face-to-face. Let's be patient and understand their struggles na lang. Last but not the least, ang pinaka-importante sa online etiquette is think before you click. It is important to think before we click that post button. Like mag-reflect muna tayo if appropriate bang i-share yan publicly in order to avoid any possible conflict or misunderstanding that may arise.